Welcome to the Saturday Sports Line. Since 1969, the premier sports show about local high school sports, featuring coaches, players, and special guests. Now, here is your host of the Saturday Sports Line, Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI Sports Director, Mitch Columbi, and sports analyst, Chris McGowan.
Lautenbach saves it to Haschel, back to Huerta. Why not?
He's a sniper, Mitch.
Baby! 3-3 early here.
The way we used to be, it ain't all it seems. Yeah, the way we used to be, even in your dreams. Looking back, we seeing what we want to see. The way we used to be.
And a good Saturday morning to you here on the Saturday Sports Line. Big week coming up for our area teams. This song is dedicated to all of our favorite coach in Hollywood. It is Gene Hackman, the late, great coach, Norman Dale. Shout out to him. Let's go through our area scores as we play some Hoosiers music in the background to get us ready for sectionals. The West Central Trojans, they finish off their regular season at 15-7, beating Lake Station on the road last night. 58-54 was the final. They see South Newton in the first round of sectionals this coming week. The Winamac Warriors finished off their regular season on Thursday on the road against DeMont Christian, 54-28 for a big win. 14-8 are the Warriors as they head to Jimtown for their sectional. Career Academy is who they face in round one. The Culver Cavaliers finish off their regular season last night at Bremen. You heard that game on our other station, KVB's WYMR. That's Max 98.3 FM with Rusty Dixon. The Cavs go 2-20. Tough loss last night to the Lions, 62-19. We'll chat with head coach Drew Mosson in the second hour. The Knox Redskins, they will finish off their regular season tonight at home against Elwood. They fell last night to Triton, 55-26. 3-18 are the Redskins. They have the bye for round one of sectionals. We'll talk with head coach Jason Breden in this hour. The South Central Satellites are 12-10 to finish off their regular season. They beat Morgan Township Thursday night, 62-59. The Oregon Davis Bobcats, they finish off their regular season at 2-20. They lost to River Forest on Thursday, 66-36. We'll talk with head coach Larry Sennert at the bottom of this hour. The Tri-Township Tigers finish off their regular season last night, 4-18 on the year. They will see Westville in the first round of sectionals. And then finally, the North Judson-San Blue Jays. They go 9-13 on the season. They'll see the South Central Satellites this coming Wednesday, and that's where we will be. Let's go ahead and bring in Chris McGowan. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
Not too bad. Nice tribute there to Coach Dale. I tell you what, it's always amazing to me, how many years we're spanning over 2 decades now that I've been a high school math teacher, and it's always sad when I ask how many kids have never, how have you seen the movie Hoosiers and no hands go up?
It's sad.
It is sad that
one of the greats.
It is. We're actually doing a disservice to today's youth by not showing that movie. But anyway.
Well, we'll go ahead and bring in North Judson Blue Jay head coach. It is Kit Chezem. I've got him on the line. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
It's good to hear from you. You finished things off the regular season. You'll see South Central this coming week. It was a tough loss to KV last night. They must be pretty good.
Yeah, they are pretty good. Big, physical, strong team. 6 seniors, veteran teams playing at home. So, it was a tough assignment. We knew that going in.
Probably the perfect little taste before sectionals, maybe, to get you fired up?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things. I don't think that we're going to see anybody better than them in the tournament, at least more athletic than them. I guess from that standpoint, it was a good test for us.
Yeah, last Saturday you had a close one with Hebron, and we talked about it in the morning about that game and what the Hawks were going to present. You only lost by 2, Coach. It must have been a tight one.
Well, yes and no. That game was very similar to a lot of the games that we played, where we played some really good basketball and some not so good basketball. We were actually down in that game in the first half, 30-10.
Wow.
Let that sink in.
So you fought back.
Yeah, in the second half, we really dominated the game, and we have a shot to tie at the end. You're down 30-10. we ought to be thinking about packing up and going home at halftime. And our guys really battled, really played better, did a lot of things that we've been working on, and kind of demonstrated where we think we can play. It's just getting that consistency. And, last night was pretty much the same way. We got outscored 35-7 in the middle 2 quarters, but, outplayed them in the first and the fourth. We just can't or haven't been able to yet put together a full 32 minutes.
Well, Coach, the regular season's over. You took on South Central, so you drew in the first round of the sectional. You took the second game of the season back all the way back on December 14th. You come away with a 52-50 victory on the runner by Cole Wilcox in overtime. Going into sectionals from South Central, what do you expect to see different this time?
I think both teams have grown. Both teams are better. We've been watching a lot of film on South Central. Got to see them live the other night. They are really explosive on the perimeter. They've got several kids, that can score the basketball from beyond the arc. They can break you down off the dribble. Huerta, Howard, all those guys. I mean, Haschel, those guys are all really good out there. They found some scoring inside as well. So they're a well-oiled machine right now. I think they're playing their best basketball.
Yeah, we saw him last Saturday, Coach, and the Redskins got off to a good start in the first quarter last Saturday against them, but after that, the Satellites really took it in gear, and one person that stood out on the inside was Breden Lautenbach, also Clayten Strauch, and then, of course, Jay Huerta, several guys on that team that can get things going, and then you got to remember Noah Howard, those guys can pop off at any time, and like we've seen in the past, they don't mind playing in the nest, Coach. They seem to play pretty well.
Yeah, they played pretty well there, but it's it is what it is. We'll do our best to give our best effort. And I think if we can give a consistent effort for 32 minutes, we've got a real good chance.
Yeah, I was going to ask what for you to be successful on Wednesday night. What is it that you guys have to do specifically?
Well, it's not give the ball away. Again, I'm a broken record on Saturday mornings, but we're just turning the ball over way too much. We turned it over 18 or 19 times last night. Most of those were in the middle 2 quarters. The quarters that we won, we're getting good shots and we're taking care of the basketball. And when we make good decisions with it, the good things happen. But, with South Central, you cough it up and it might turn into 3 at the other end. And it can get away from you quick because they're so explosive.
Yeah, right now, Coach, are you happy with where your team's at heading into sectionals, or you still got to tighten some things up?
Well, you're never satisfied. I do see some growth. Last night there were several times, though, where we did get some actions in our motion offense that we've been working on, and we ran them really well against what I thought was a really good defensive team. And then we just don't make the shot. So in that shooting, that comes and goes. I think we made our first 3 last night, and then we missed 14 in a row. And that's really not been like us recently. We've been shooting the ball a little bit better. So hopefully we got some of those out of our system, and we can start knocking those down here this week.
I know a lot of our area teams are practicing at their sectional location today. One positive you can take away, Coach, is you get to host your sectional, and you have for the last several years. That's probably something you at least enjoy. Yeah,
I think it is a little bit of an advantage, but I also think that's a little overplayed. But, if you're going to give me the choice of where we're going to play that sectional, I definitely want to play in the nest.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So, Coach, after 22 games, how's the overall health of the ball club?
Pretty good right now. Things we're not really too nicked up. We're pretty deep. We're playing 8 guys, and we're playing them all quite a bit. And, they've weathered the storm pretty well in that regard.
Man, Coach, this is my favorite time of year. I know it is for you as well. And we were thinking about Gene Hackman today. Of course, the movie Hoosiers was huge, and I'm sure you remember when that movie came out. Talk about how much that movie meant to the state of Indiana.
Yeah, it pretty cool time. I'm old enough to remember when they were filming that movie, getting cast and characters and things like that. And that was the time that I was in high school. And it was kind of cool to see people around the community. They filmed right down the road from me in Lebanon. It was everybody's favorite movie at the time.
Well, it is. I think ESPN has it like number one for the all-time sports movies, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that.
It is definitely a good one. Well, Coach, I appreciate your time this morning. We look forward to seeing you this coming Wednesday against the South Central Satellites. We'll be there for you, Coach. Thanks, as always, for your time.
All right. Look forward to seeing you.
All right, that is head coach of the North Judson-San Blue Jays boys basketball team. It is Kent Chezem here on the Saturday Sports Line. We're going to talk with South Central now, who the Jays are playing this coming Wednesday. We'll talk with head coach Matty Bush on the other side. Don't go anywhere. McLaughlin on the far side of the court. He's taking on Jack Cashel. He picks up his dribble inside to Tiki Johnson. Back out, 3-ball on the way.
Beautiful pass. That's a good start.
With a nice splash, 3-0, and that's exactly what the Redskins needed to start.
They're really backing up on Weber, and there he goes with a 3.
He popped it, no good. He's going to track down his rebound right to Miles McLaughlin inside, dump off
look
the
at that. Unselfish play. He leads the team in assists, too, and that's why, man.
Skip past far corner, Yek, another 3, overshot it, rebounded by Johnson on the inside, back to Yek, top of the key, 3,
Get him.
ball.
Pay attention to him.
6-5, Redskins lead by 1, 5:50 to go here in the launch pad. We are orbiting.
The Stark County Co-op has been a member-owned farm services co-op in Stark County since 1928. That's over 90 years, and they're still providing the same quality agronomy services to the farming community of Stark and surrounding counties. The Stark County Co-op is an LP and fuel provider. The Stark County Co-op purchases grain at both locations, Hamlet and Brems. You can reach them by phone at 1-800-782-3392.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line.
Pulaski Memorial Hospital. Quality care closer to home. Pulaski Memorial Hospital is all about community and keeping our community spotlight shining on the accomplishments of our youth. That's why PMH is proud to be a sponsor of our local high school sports action on WKVI, our community radio station. Pulaski Memorial Hospital. Quality care closer to home.
Let's continue the conversation with area high school coaches and more on the Saturday Sports Line.
Inside the left elbow, back up top, Clayten Strauch. Now to Jay Huerta, deep 3 on the way.
Too much space.
Splash, Jay Huerta. 10-8 here.
I didn't.
Back from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios, this is the Saturday Sports Line. That was actually, you heard the little girl in the background. That was Chad Haschel, the public address announcer's daughter. Jay Huerta hits that 3, and she's like, it's so clean.
I was wondering, what was that in the background?
She loved that shot from Jay
awesome.
Huerta. We're talking with head coach of the South Central Satellites now. It is head coach Matty Bush. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning. How are you guys?
Hey, we're doing pretty good. It looks like you guys are doing pretty good, too.
Yeah, we had a big win the other night back at my old school, and it got a little tighter than we wanted, but it was a good win.
Yeah, we talked post-game last Saturday after that win against Knox. Knox came out fighting hard in the first quarter, but really you guys outlasted them the entire 4 quarters. It feels and it seems like this team is coming together at the right time.
Yeah, especially on the offensive end, we have really kind of turned a corner. And earlier in the year, I think we started the season something like 12 for 70 from 3 in our first couple games. And, And then, I kept telling the guys, like, hey, we're getting good shots. They're going to go in eventually. And we started to find a groove with that and starting to shoot the ball really well. But on the flip side of that, I think we've lost some of our defensive identity. And so we've been working to get that back. We do it well in spurts. Against Morgan in the first quarter, I mean, the first quarter was 20-4 at the end. And then we I don't know, we got a lead and let up a little bit or what, but our defense wasn't the same after that. And so it's really about building the consistency of doing those things the entire time.
Let's go back to Tuesday night. You traveled to Westville. I believe it was their senior night, and you come away with a 6-point loss there. Go back to that game and tell us what happened there, Coach.
Well, a similar thing that's, gotten us a few times this year, more than a few. We had a 6-point lead with 4 minutes, and then we couldn't close it. And we've struggled in those games. After the Morgan game, we're now 1-6 in games decided by 3 or less. And we have a lot of guys who can do a lot of really good things. Jay and Noah have had a really good shooting season. They're actually, both of them have broken the single season record for 3-point makes this year for our school, and one of them will finish the year as our single season 3-point made record holder, but they're going to have the best set out here over the next week or so. But we don't have just a ball handler that we can get the ball to and say, hey, go close the game for us. And we're trying to figure out how to do that, with everybody. And there's times that we have done a good job of that. And, Clayton's taken on a lot of that, Jay, but their strengths are, elsewhere. So we have to figure it out. We have to learn to take better care of the ball. And really what happened is we couldn't close it out with, good decision making on the offensive end. So.
Man, Coach, something that stuck out was, we talked about it in the post game, was your seniors and that amazing moment on senior night last Saturday. And we had a chance to talk this week with our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week, Clayten Strauch, and he was the first to mention about that 3-point record of the younger guys. He also spoke highly about Breden Lautenbach and how this team hangs out outside of practice. Is that something that you look at as a head coach as a positive?
Yeah, we have a really tight group, and I think they've really grown tighter as the year's gone on. We returned a decent amount of players, even though we graduated for seniors. We returned a good group of guys who were really tight. They played a bunch of minutes last year, and along with Jay, Noah, and Clayten, I said Breden Lautenbach had an excellent year. I was just doing our conference stats because it's that time of year to nominate people, and in conference game, Braden's shooting 70% from the field. And it was funny when I was looking, I was like, really every guy on our team has a case to be made to maybe be an all-conference guy. I mean, Braden's averaging 9 points and 6 rebounds, shooting 70% from the field. Jack Cashell's averaging 11 points and 5 rebounds with 2 steals a game, and Noah's shooting the ball really well. Clayton's averaging like 6, 6, and 6. Jay's obviously had a great year. He's shooting 46% from 3 in conference games. So, like I said, we've had some guys have a really good season, and like I said, we flipped a few of those games that we lost in tight fashion, and our record looks a little different.
Yeah, let's talk. Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you're listening to you make the case, when it comes to all conference. As a head coach, that's probably one of the hardest things that you have to do is, you're splitting hairs because you're only allowed so many nominations and all that. And it's just, it really is one of the hardest things as a head coach you have to do.
Yeah. I mean, last year we had couple clear guys, but this year, like I said, it's I could argue for any one of our guys, and
right?
So this will be a little bit tougher for me. I got to sit down and really pour through it, and but I'm just proud of our guys that they've all improved so much year over year.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say it's a nice problem to have when you got to sit down and really think about it. It's a nice problem to have, but it is one that you, as a head coach, I used to lose sleep over it.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna think I would lose sleep over, but then after putting the stats together, then over the next few days when I have to make those decisions, I probably will a little bit.
We look at this sectional here at North Judson, Coach, and we remember last year against Hebron. Man, that game was really. I mean, it was a tough way to go out for you guys. But man, did you guys show the fight? You've shown in the past you like to play there. You don't mind playing in the nest. You get to take on the host team, North Judson, first in the first round. Tell us your thoughts on that and about the Jays.
Yeah, they're the host team, and then also they have the championship pedigree. I mean, they went on a run last year. They beat Hebron, and it was a really good team, and I think they went all the way to semi-state, and so we're definitely not taking them lightly. They have that type of experience, and it's just one of those things. Tournament time changes stuff, Teams that maybe haven't had the season they thought they might, but now it's time to play in the tournament. It's win or go home, and sometimes that desperation, puts a little bit different mindset on people. So, we're going to get it ready to play Judson and get our guys ready to play. And, like I said, not taking them lightly because I know what they can do. I know what their guys can do, and they know how to win basketball games this time of year.
Yeah, looking at your schedule, the only game you guys went into overtime with was against the Jays, and they won on a last-second floater in the paint, and I'm sure that's something that you and your guys are probably remembering here coming up on Wednesday.
Definitely. We watched that film at the time, and, I thought we played pretty well. I watched that film just last night, and we played pretty well. Didn't shoot it great. But it was a game that we definitely could have won, and we let it kind of slip away. But again, they played great, and, it's kind of a similar thing. Late in the game, tight game, those Judson guys have been in those games. They've been in those spots. They know how to close those things. And so that's what we're telling our guys now. These guys have been in big moments. They know how to do it, and we got to be ready for it.
Yeah, I know there was a couple things you had mentioned you wanted to tighten up on, Coach, but all in all, are you happy with where this team is at leading into sectionals?
Yes, I am. I mean, any coach will tell you they want to improve and be playing their best basketball, at this time of the year, and I think we are. Like I said, our offensive side of things has gotten so much better. We're shooting it really well. And, I know we're capable of defensively, so we're ready to go. Excited to get to the tournament just like everybody else, and can't wait.
So how's the health of the basketball team going into the second season?
It's great. One of the things that I really, really stress is we do 20 minutes of stretching and warm-ups before every practice. Something I took from my days coaching college. We really stress stretching and warm up and getting everything, loosened up to try to prevent injuries, because, hey, we're a small school. You lose one or two guys, it can really, really hurt you. So we're trying to stay as healthy as possible. And, right now we're a pretty healthy team. So.
Coach, we're thinking about Gene Hackman this morning, a coach, of course, one of the best movies ever in the movie Hoosiers. You got any Hoosier stories?
Oh, me and the coaches were talking about that. It was definitely a huge movie for me growing up, being a small school kid. And, I was actually joking with the coaches about, just how different the game is now compared to then. When I watched it as a kid, I was like, this is what coaching is. This is what basketball is. And then you spend 20 years coaching, and you're like, maybe they should have shot the ball a little more from outside. They should have let Jimmy shoot him a little bit more. But
or Raid.
yeah. So, just it's a good contrast to watch, that, and then kind of see what the modern game has become. But obviously, love that movie. It's amazing.
Yeah, one of the most iconic moments from that movie, what you just said reminded me of when he's outside shooting on the dirt, and they never cut. That he just kept making the shot after shot after shot. And I think I watched something. It was something I watched. They had talked about it years later, where they said, no, he really was hitting every shot.
Yeah, it was one. They did it in one take.
I mean, that's Indiana basketball for you.
Yeah, Jimmy would have thrived in the three-point area, I think.
Coach, I sure do appreciate your time hopping on here. We look forward to seeing you this Wednesday.
Yep, sounds good, guys. Thanks.
All right, that is head coach of the South Central Satellites. It is Matty Bush here on the Saturday Sports Line. We will see the South Central Satellites take on the North Judson-San Blue Jays this coming Wednesday, going live at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central on your local hometown radio station. We're going to take a break and come back. We're going to talk West Central basketball with head coach Brad Odom on the other side.
Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone.
Man-to-man from the Redskins, as it had been all night.
All right.
Here's Jack Cashel.
All
Three ball!
Get him going. That's his first points of the night, and it's a big one here with 16.7 in the second quarter, Mitch.
24-22 is the score. Skip pass far side of the court to Turkovitz, then up top to Noah Howard. Splash! Oh, man. 18-16 now.
Okay, Mitch, this situation.
To walk along the lonely street of dreams. And here I go again on my own. Going down the only road I've ever known. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone.
It's hard to believe, but time sure does fly by. Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox are celebrating over 30 years of taking care of all of your insurance needs in our communities.
If I could turn back time.
And we're not going anywhere.
Stop in and see Jim and the crew at Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox.
Insurance you can count on from a business you've trusted since 1989.
Proud presidential partners of Western Reserve.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
There's a trend happening around the educational world. More and more high school graduates are attending smaller community colleges to start their educational journey. At Marian University's Ancilla College, we welcome students from all walks of life. The opportunities at Marian University are endless, from living on campus to being a collegiate student-athlete. From day one, your professors will help you create a plan for a success at Marian and beyond. Find out more about Marian University's Ancilla College through our website at marian.edu/Ancilla today.
Here's more with area high school coaches as we return to the Saturday Sports Line from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital Studios on K99.3.
Now here's Cole Jordan driving baseline back out to
He's
Yak.
chucking it
Corner splash, Dayton Yak.
Speaking of being tighter, we got to be tighter on number 22 there. Man, back. He's got 3 of them now, Mitch.
Back from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital Studios, this is the Saturday Sports Line. We are transitioning to talk West Central boys basketball with head coach Brad Odom. 15-7 on the regular season. They buttoned things up last night on the road against Lake Station, 58-54. Good morning, Coach. Congratulations on an amazing regular season.
Yeah, thanks, Mitch. Good morning.
It's good to have you on here. We got Chris McGowan in the house. Man, the Trojans haven't had a season like this in a while.
Yeah, I think looking back at the records, it was 2010, somewhere around that time frame. So it's nice. It's nice to play quality basketball. The kids have been excited. They've worked hard all year, and it's nice to see the accomplishments that we've had based on the amount of work and dedication that they have to the game of basketball.
You've had some guys step up and play in opportune moments. Talk about the chemistry right now. You're ending the regular season on a 3-game winning streak, so something must be clicking at the right time. From what I've heard, Christian Hughes has had a good set of few games too.
Yeah, last night he had 17 points. Very dominant inside.
He does such a great job getting position, and with the style that we want to play, whenever you can establish an inside game as perimeter-oriented as we are, it allows us to be versatile and allows us to do a variety of things based on his ability. He's undersized at only 6'2" on the inside, but he's so strong and broad-shouldered. He does a great job of getting position, and it helps us in every aspect of the game.
All right, Coach, you're going to take this in a little bit different direction than what we have the previous two interviews. Looking back at 15-7, like you said, it's been since 2010 since you've had a season like this. What's been your biggest? What's pleased you the most? Your biggest highlight of the season?
Well, I think coming into the season, there were a lot of unknowns. We had 3 or 4 guys that had some varsity experience, but we were going to bring in some younger kids that had to be able to mesh quickly. And knowing that, you want to try to be able to build confidence early, and getting off to the good start that we did. We started the year 6-0 for the first time. That success really helped to set the tone for what we wanted to accomplish. If you look back on that, and maybe you don't get off to that good of a start, then it's hard to build confidence with young guys. But because of the way that we started, and we started fast, and we shot the ball really well early, it's kind of set the tone for where we're at.
Yeah, Coach, let's look at this Tri-County sectional here. You drew South Newton. There's several good teams in this Tri-County sectional. DeMont, Caston, Tri-County, North White is in there, Pioneer, and North Newton. South Newton, what do you know about them?
We played them earlier in the year. They were without one of their better kids. The Colton Marks didn't play against us, I believe, like our 4th or 5th game of the season. They're a junior and senior heavy laden team. They're very physical. They like to play fast. They're very strong. We've got to make sure that we speed that game up and try to play it in transition where we're best. It's not a game that we want to grind down with their physicality.
Yeah, it's been a great season overall. Your second year as the head coach, do you like where the ball club is at this moment in time heading into sectionals?
Yeah, at this point in time, there's really no secrets for anybody. You know what everybody's capable of. You've got plenty of film on your opponents, and they have plenty of film on you. So it's just a matter of making sure down at sectional time that you're going to be consistent, and that you're not going to struggle to handle adversity, and you've got to be able to execute on the biggest stage, and that's why kids play. At Tri-County, the sectional atmosphere, I think, is going to be electric because there's so many teams that have an opportunity to make a run. Every team in that sectional has lost to somebody in the sectional field, so it could be wide open, and I think the crowds will be large, and it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, looking at the sectional 50 field, you were 6-1 against sectional opponents. Tri-County was 6-1, Pioneer 4-2, Caston at 2-2. So, and DeMont Christian at 3-3. So again, a pretty balanced field there. So, what are you guys going to have to do to come out on top in that sectional 50 field, Coach?
Well, we just have to do what we do best. We have to establish an inside game. We've got to be able to get out in transition, which means you have to be able to rebound the basketball on the defensive end. And then, late in games, as they're going to be tight, we've got to execute. We've got to knock down free throws. So, we're young in the backcourt, but we're not young in 3 other spots. So we've got guys like Jaden Miller and Bryson Aniga and Christian Hughes that have been through the battles. And our young kids in our backcourt have played a ton of basketball. So we're not as young as our roster says anymore, and it's just going to come down to how do we execute in those last 2 minutes.
Let's go back in time, Coach, and I'll call it an anomaly. When I look at the schedule, I think, my gosh, a tough game against Pioneer. There must be more to the story behind the scenes or something that had happened. Did you have some kids sick that night against Pioneer?
No, we just didn't shoot the ball very well. I think we were 2 of 23 from three-point range, and that's not typically who we are. But throughout the years, you're going to have one of those where you stub your toe and you look back at it and say, "Man, we let one get away." But we struggled a little bit with their zone defense, and they were very physical and strong inside. And we just, for whatever reason, we just didn't shoot the ball very well that night.
And isn't it weird as a head coach? You played that game at home. You don't expect to shoot the ball poorly at home.
Yeah, and I think some of that, if I remember right, it was one of those weird weeks where you're in school and out of school, and we missed a couple of days and didn't get a couple of practices. So we came in a shot early before the game. But, when you play 22 games, you're going to have one of those every once in a while.
Right.
Now, something that we had talked about in terms of highlights throughout your regular season here, earlier on in the season, you guys had started off 6-0. That's got to be one of the better starts in West Central boys basketball history, I would assume.
Yeah, it was, looking over the records, it was the best start that we've ever had. And,
wow.
And that's a combination of a couple of different things. Historically, we've always had a North Judson in there, a Couts in there. Those are two of the better teams in the region. So getting off to this start was a product of a couple of different things. We started fast, and people didn't have tape on us, so they might not have known how quickly we wanted to play. But also is because of the kids' work ethic and the amount of time they put in the weight room. Most of our kids have put on 20 or 25 pounds since last March, preparing for this opportunity to be able to play basketball at a high level. And that's been a big key to who we are.
How's the health of the ball club here entering sectionals?
We got some kids with colds. There's a variety of things going around right now, whether it's the stomach bug or head cold. So we're fighting off a little bit about that. But as of right now, we should be good to go.
We're remembering Gene Hackman. Of course, the movie Hoosiers was a big deal for the state of Indiana. You got any good Hoosier stories, Coach?
No, just the picket fence.
The picket fence.
I'll make it.
It makes me want to watch the movie right now.
I think my favorite scene is when Ray looks at him and goes, "I got him a good one, didn't I, Coach?"
Yeah.
One of the another line I like, Coach, is when he's talking to Gene Hackman at the bar when they meet or at the diner, and he says 1939 or whatever state finals, 3-2 sectional championship, 3-2-1, let her fly, in and out.
Well, I was fouled.
Yeah.
Coach, I appreciate you You say what?
Or when he measures the rim, it's all the same.
Yeah, it's all the same. Well, Coach, you've been here before. You've got some seniors on this team in Christian Hughes and Bryce Staniga. They're going to have to be the leaders here heading into sectionals. I'm sure they're ready to go.
They are. And you got to throw Jaden Miller in that mix, too, because without his defensive presence, we have a void on that end. So I think they'll be ready. They're confident, and when you're in a one-game, when you're a one-game season and it's one and done, you've got to be at your best, and you've got to be ready for that moment and that atmosphere, and I think we're ready to go.
All right, Coach, something, being a former head coach, that's something I want to ask you, and I want your opinion on this, and you can feed me a line or whatever. But so you played at Tri-County, and I've always wondered what other coaches thought. Today's usually the day when, going into sectionals, if you haven't played at the place where you're playing, that's hosting the sectional, you get to go in, you get to have a practice. But with the IHSAA, what they've done the last, probably 10, 15 years now, is they haven't, if you've played at the school that's hosting, you're not allowed to go in and have a practice. What's your take on that?
I don't know. I don't know why you're not allowed to go over and practice. To me, that's a day that you get to build some team camaraderie. You usually go over and practice and you find a place to eat.
Right.
So you miss out on that. We didn't get to do that last year at Caston either. I always thought that was a fun day, when I was on the girls' side, because anytime you get to go somewhere as a team, you get to have some fun with it. And unfortunately, we miss out because we played a game over there. I don't necessarily agree that you don't get to have that practice because you played there. It's one day. Wow, why can't everybody go practice? But it's been a standing rule for a while. It's just unfortunate because today would be a fun day for everybody to go over, get some shots in over there, and then find a place to eat.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think that maybe that's something we ought to try to get changed back.
I'm all for it.
All right, I'm gonna have to take the mantle on that one and run with it.
Make a few phone calls.
Yeah. See what I
some
can do.
Connections, some sources. Coach, thanks so much for your time. Good luck this coming week in the sectional run, and it all starts with South Newton. Good luck to you.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, that is head coach of the West Central Trojans boys basketball team. It is Brad Odom here on the Saturday Sports Line. Hey, big time shout out this morning to Brad Schilling. He said he knew the guy that played Jimmy in the movie Hoosiers when he was at Purdue. So
nice.
Want to give a shout out to one of our longtime listeners, a loyal listener, Brad Schilling, this morning. Appreciate that message. We're going to take a break and come back. We're going to talk Knox Redskin boys basketball with head coach Jason Breden. He's up next. The Redskins needed 16-8 here. 1:45 to go. Drives baseline, skip past the Yek near corner. And it rattles around for a third three. This is the start the Redskins needed. 16-8 here. 1:45 to go in the first.
That's his fourth three.
Oh, fourth.
That's number 4.
My apologies.
I see you, young fella.
I swear, at this moment,
Oh, stolen. There he is. Stolen by Jack Cashel. Pick the pocket of Kane Weber to Jay Huerta. Near corner 3, Noah Howard. Splash!
Woo, and that was all caused by Hassel's defense there. That'll get him going. That'll do it.
One of our hometown businesses here in our area in Monterey, it's LAP Waste.
Being able to recycle is one of our main goals at LAP Waste. Being able to say that we only take about 8% of our trash to the dump is pretty impressive for us, and we hope to keep building on that.
We service an 80-mile circle from Monterey. If you have a small job, big job, or just have a one-time, we are here to make a difference in this area.
And that phone number, Kirby?
574-542-4019.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line.
At First Farmers Bank and Trust, agriculture has been a cornerstone of our business for more than 135 years. Our personal relationships within the ag community run deep for multiple generations. If you're looking for a financial partner that knows, understands, and supports agriculture, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Isaac Blue, Ag Banker at First Farmers. Come into our Knox, North Judson, or Culver branches, or visit us online at ffbt.com when you're ready to talk about growing your operation. First Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
You're listening to Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
As McLaughlin gets in, back out, Cole Jordan pops the 3-ball. Splash. Back for more from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios. This is the Saturday Sports Line. We are transitioning to talk Knox Redskin boys basketball with head coach of the Redskins. We've got him on the line. It is Jason Breden. How you doing, Coach?
Pretty good, Coach. Thanks for. Pretty good, Mitch. Thanks for having me.
Hey, you're fine. I threw you for a loop there. I've never been called Coach. I appreciate it. Now, don't get any ideas. I don't want to coach anytime soon. Okay. I don't know how you guys do it. It's amazing. All the area coaches, a big time shout out to them. The work, the time, the effort that you guys put in. But you're finishing up your regular season tonight, Coach. Your inaugural season here at Knox. We'll talk about sectionals here in a little bit. But let's talk about this season. Like we had talked, it was going to take some time building the program from the ground up. That was something you told me in our first pregame interview, building from the ground up. We saw you last Saturday. It was a tough loss against the South Central Satellites, but an amazing first quarter. Then we saw you on Tuesday. You turned things around, and you really had a full game against the Cavs. Let's just talk about this week and where the ball club is at this time. You must see some positives.
Yeah, you said it Tuesday night. Obviously, it always feels good when we can come away with a win. We were able to go to Culver's gym and come up with a 20-point win. I thought defensively we were able to do some stuff out of our pressure in our 1-3-1 zone to speed Culver up and to kind of get them to take some shots that aren't necessarily the most high percentage for them. But on offense, I thought our ball movement was good. I thought Miles played a great game like usual, just driving, creating stuff, along with getting his shots up for good points for us. And then I thought we just had some nice performances from other guys. Chase Fletcher knocked down some outside shots, Cole Jordan, and then like usual, I thought Tegan Johnson and Caden Weber did a nice job overall on the boards as well.
Yeah, man, I'll say also Dayton Yeck. I mean, my goodness, I don't remember him getting as much time at the beginning of the season, so his growth must be something as well.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing, when, you took over a program like I did that graduated about 4 seniors, and that's pretty young, is, we've made clear to all the players that, nobody's ever locked concrete into a spot. We're a very young program, primarily all freshmen and sophomores, so if you put in the work and time and get better, and you just start producing in the areas that we need, which usually are, outside three-point shooting and rebounding and defense, usually we can find a spot on the floor for you. So, yeah, Dayton's a guy that's really came along the past 2 weeks and just strung together some nice performances, and he's been rewarded for it. He was a guy that maybe played about 5 to 10 minutes a game 2 weeks ago, and he's been getting 25-plus just because he's just a good on-ball defender. He's been able to knock down outside shots and just do a lot of good things for us.
Yeah, big moments, too. And another thing I thought that stood out this past Tuesday, of course, we talked about it in the post-game show, but to share with our listeners here on Saturday morning, that zone trap, that 1-2-2 kind of what you guys were throwing at Culver, it seemed like your athletic guards are really good at getting up into the face of the other team's guards as well. Of course, you can sometimes get into foul trouble if you're too aggressive, but it seemed like you guys did a really good job of trapping when it come to either side. Is that something defensively that you're thinking you might throw at some teams in the future?
It's most definitely nice to have in our back pocket. Pretty much, I'm a firm believer in the saying, just find a way to win. And, we can beat some teams through a trapping defense, especially on the half-court level. That's something we will mix in. Going forward year to year, that's something we'll do. It's never going to be my base defense because I'm just a firm believer still that you have to have a good man-to-man half-court defense at your disposal. But, it's something that we'll just kind of mix in and test teams with. And if they can handle it, then we can always go back to our man-to-man. But if we have success in it, we'll just keep trapping and look to bring some pressure to opponents in the future.
Yeah, I know we've talked about it as well. While it's been a tough season, to me, I'm a guy that looks at things that are positive. You always want to beat John Glenn if you're Knox. That's a conference opponent. You got that win. That's a highlight. Another highlight, we talked about Pioneer in the last segment with head coach Brad Odom of West Central. That was a game that the Trojans fell to Pioneer. You beat Pioneer this season, and then another win beating Culver this past Tuesday. So, I mean, there have been moments throughout this season that this team has shown you they're capable of getting the job done.
Yeah, most definitely. Number one, it starts with a big saying that we have is you're only as good as your next performance. I mean, you can throw away your overall record. You can throw away your most recent performance. It just comes down to, you're as good as, how you next play against your next opponent. And the numbers don't lie. I mean, we started off our first 10 games averaging only about 25 points per game offensively. You factor in our last 15, just the 15 sample size, we're averaging 42 points per game. So the guys are getting better in the fact that we're scoring 17 points per game more the last 10 games sample size as compared to the first 10. It also just comes down to, again, plain and simple, we're young, we're playing 4 freshmen a lot of minutes. It took some time to get them up to speed. We also had some injuries earlier. And, it's not really an excuse because, going forward in the future, we plan to always compete the full 4 months of the season. But, it just took a little bit of time to kind of reset the program and build it how we wanted to. And you said it, we beat Pioneer, who's a solid team in my book. They're a 13-win team. Lost by 4 to Wheeler, who's an 11-win team. Judson we competed with, lost by 4, who's a 9-win team. There have been numerous teams that, aren't necessarily a 2 or 3-win team that we've competed with. And I just think that shows overall progress in terms of what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with that, Coach. And then also we look at the Jimtown sectional. You got the bye. You're awaiting the winner between LaVille and Jimtown. And then on the other side of the bracket, the Winamac Warriors are taking on Career Academy in the opening round. Bremen is who is awaiting Winamac versus Career Academy. Do you like having the bye?
I do in this situation this year. We're playing pretty much 7 games in roughly 14 days, just kind of how our schedule worked out with some makeup stuff. Last week we played a Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. This week we played Culver on Tuesday, Triton last night, and then we're still going to play Elwood today just to squeeze in the last regular season game. So I think the bye is definitely great in terms of getting our guys a little bit of rest. We'll be able to give them a day off early next week just to rest their legs and everything, make sure physically they're in good shape. And then it just gives us more time just to kind of try to clean things up the best we can, keep improving in certain areas. And then whether it's Jimtown or LaVille, we're going to put in a game plan to try to put us in the best position to win if we do some good things.
Yeah, another positive that I see, Coach, is that, when you saw LaVille, that was way back on December 14th, and then Jimtown on January 10th. Your ball club, and I want the listeners to understand that your ball club is vastly different from December 14th and January 10th in terms of personnel.
Most definitely. Miles wasn't back in the first place against LaVille, and neither was Chase Fletcher. I think having those two guys make a difference. Again, Dayton's growth and improvement really helps. I'll just say at point blank, LaVille was able to beat us by 38 because they were able to just press us the whole game and force us into 33 team turnovers. I'm confident that we're going to keep working on some things, and we're going to be able to take care of that ball and get into a half-court game, and be able to keep the game close and put ourselves in the position to win. Turnovers is another thing I'll mention for improvement. We were averaging about 23-plus turnovers through our first 10 games. We really made it a point of emphasis, and our last 10, we've been about 12 turnovers as a team, and that's made our season average go down to about 15 to 16. So taking care of the ball and just being strong with it, handling it against the press has also been a huge part of our improvement as a team.
You finish off your regular season tonight at home, Coach. You're hosting Elwood. What do you know about them? That's actually this afternoon. My apologies. Tip-off is scheduled for 2 p.m. Central. Coach, what do you know about Elwood?
Well, to start, the tip-off has been adjusted to 1:30 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
Time.
Thank you.
Yep, it's going to be a 1:30 p.m. Central Time varsity start. There's not going to be a JV game now prior to them. What we know about Elwood is they're far away. I mean, they're about 2 hours away on a bus. And the reason why we were able to get them is with Washington Township's game being canceled for weather in January, there was not really a good makeup date to reschedule them for. So we had Elwood kind of send out one of those mass blanket emails to various schools saying they needed a game. And we answered saying, we need a game also, and we'd be interested in playing. So we were able to work out them coming up to play today. No, we're not necessarily going to play them, long-term, year-to-year and make that far drive, but it's just a good opportunity for our guys to get more game experience today. A lot of teams like to practice today, kind of getting ready for the sectional. But I think right now game experience is the best thing we can do for our guys, and obviously having the bye, we have a little bit of time to still prep for our sectional.
Yeah, looking at their schedule, looks like they've had a rough season as well. And we've always said it, when two teams that have had a tough season meet, sometimes it can provide a really good atmosphere. And like you said, it just better prepares your guys for this coming week.
Yeah, they play good man-to-man defense. I think they're fairly well coached in that aspect of the game. They've won 5 games. Their second leading scorer did sit out about 8 games, so that kind of changed things up for them. They're most definitely playing a lot better ball now, kind of similar to us, and maybe their record represents. So, the key thing is, we played Triton last night. Tough loss. It never feels good to lose. We didn't necessarily handle some of their various scrapping pressure the best. So, it kind of goes back to the saying, you're only as good as your next performance. So we're going to have a performance opportunity in about 5 hours, and it's a great opportunity for our guys to compete, perform, and come away with a win, which goes a heck of a lot better than losing.
Yeah, you talk about Triton, they must be pretty good right now.
Yeah, Triton is just a program that's absolutely been well built. Jason Groves has been there for 20 years. I have a lot of respect for him. Truthfully, their program right now is something that I think our program's going to be in 2 years. They played all juniors and seniors. All those kids have 2 or 3 years varsity experience. Even their JV, they have some talented freshmen that are going to be able to develop on JV for a year or two and not kind of be rushed into it. So they're just an example of a well-built program that we're looking to create ourselves for Knox. They're 19-4 for a reason. last night to sum it up. I thought early on we ran our half-court offense, and we were able to control the tempo of the game. We were getting the shots that we wanted. We were up 2-0 early. Then they mixed in some different half-court pressure, and it's just part of us learning and getting better. We just got to get better at making the reads in it and not letting their pressure kind of take us out of our attack mindset and slow the game.
Well, it probably didn't also help that they were coming off a tough loss to Bremen on Tuesday night. We had kind of talked about that game after we saw each other on Tuesday. That was a battle in itself, and you get a team off of a tough loss against one of their cross-county rivals. You're going to see their best game, which is honestly probably the best scenario for you here late in the season. You want to see the best version of teams coming into the postseason, Coach, and you're getting the guys rallied at the right time. It just feels like this Redskin team is clicking. Hopefully things can happen. Who knows? Maybe LaVille versus or Jimtown, but we will be there for you this coming Friday. We're very excited to be at Jimtown, so we look forward to talking with you then. Good luck this afternoon against Elwood to button up the regular season.
All righty. Thank you very much, Mitch.
All right, that is head coach of the Knox Redskins. It is Jason Breden here on the Saturday Sports Line. We will take a quick break and come back. We'll talk Oregon Davis basketball with head coach Larry Sennert. He's here. Don't go anywhere. For Redskins tonight, as here's a three near corner. Splash, Chase Fletcher, and it's enough to have head coach Drew Mosson call the timeout. He's seen enough. 12-4, the Redskins lead here. Braylon Jackson skip pass stolen by Miles McLaughlin. One-on-one, and he will lay it in confidently. 9-4, 5-point lead. The Redskins are looking good here.
No friends of mine. I say we can go where we want to. A place where
Coke
they
Zero
will.
is now Coke Zero Sugar with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news. Some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay. Maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
At First Farmers Bank and Trust, agriculture has been a cornerstone of our business for more than 135 years. Our personal relationships within the ag community run deep for multiple generations. If you're looking for a financial partner that knows, understands, and supports agriculture, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Isaac Blue, Ag Banker at First Farmers. Come into our Knox, North Judson, or Culver branches, or visit us online at ffbt.com when you're ready to talk about growing your operation. First Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Listen for more insight in local high school sports on the Saturday Sports Line. Here's your sports director, Mitch Columbi.
Here's another one
Top
by
of the
Howard.
key, no good. And it'll be tracked down by the satellite.
Shoot it again, young fella.
Back out to Howard. Three, no good. Rebounded by Turkowitz.
Shoot it
back
again,
out to
young
Howard.
fella.
Third time's the charm.
I see you, 13, with a smile on his face when he does it. Love it.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Line. Mitch Columbi along with sports analyst Chris McGowan. We now have an opportunity to talk Oregon Davis boys basketball with head coach Larry Sennert. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
It's good to have you in here. You finished off the regular season last night, and we talked about it before. It's just been a tough season. Your kids show up. They work hard for you. They do what they can. It just hasn't translated to wins, but you finished up your sixth season as the high school basketball head coach for OD. Man, things don't get any easier. You'll see Triton. So let's just talk about this season as a whole from start to finish. We talked in the beginning. Now here we are in the end. Tell us your story.
Happened pretty fast, didn't it?
A little too fast,
It
Coach.
sure did. Yeah, it sure did. Well, you know, we came up with some goals. We didn't achieve most of those goals, but a lot of that goes back to, you know, the drive that we have as a team. We just, you know, as I've complained, I guess you'd use the word complained, in the summer, most of my kids have got a lot of things going on, evidently, and, you know, we played last summer 2 or 3 shootouts with 5 kids, you know, and I go to a lot of the coaches you're talking to here today, I hear them, and I know they played last summer with 10, 15 kids, and that's what it takes. You can't wait till the fall and come in and decide you're going to make yourself a good player. That takes time. So, I'm not making excuses for anybody. I think I said last week when I talked to you guys, we got to learn to compete, and that's probably been our biggest battle. We've won a lot of quarters, first quarters, maybe a third quarter here and there, but it takes 4 quarters to win the basketball game. And, shooting, we don't have that knockdown shooter, that a lot of teams have, that they want the ball. Kids just don't want the ball in their hands anymore, at least over in our area. You practice as a young kid, you're all out there want to make that last shot, 3, 2, 1, boom. We don't have that mentality, and we have to get that mentality. I know I want the ball. You want the ball. You want to be that kid that makes that shot. You want to be the one that's got the chance to win, in your backyard when you're a kid, and now it's for real when you're in high school. And if we can just learn to compete, I think that's probably our biggest goal.
That's the old adage, you get out of it what you put into it.
Yeah, exactly. And, I hear you guys talking about Hoosiers a lot. Go back to it's almost the same in today's world. Here that guy, he needs that 1 or 2 kids to make his team better. He gets the kids, they're better and they do good things, but you still – when that movie was made and today, you still got a lot of the same issues. What you don't have is the support that they had back there. When you go to the gym and there's, one family over here and one family over there, and there's no togetherness. And I think that carries over to the kids. And then, in Hoosiers, they were all there and they're all yipping. And it's cool.
Right.
That's funny you bring that up. I was watching an interview with Bobby Plump, and he said out of the 64 boys at Milan, 62 of them tried out for the basketball teams.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice thing
That'd be a nice thing to have. Yeah.
Have to make a lot of cuts there.
Yeah, and I like Bobby Plump's take on class basketball. He played in class basketball. It was one class.
Right.
The original.
The original one class.
We went to River Forest the other night. River Forest is a great team. They are.
Coach McKim has them playing well.
They're just doing a great job. But, they had 30 kids on their bench. 30 kids. That's the varsity and the junior varsity. And it's tough to play. He played several. He platooned them on us. And, got a lot of kids in the game, did a lot of good things. He's doing a great job there. But, that's a lot of kids to pick and choose from. And,
you had some highlights, Coach. Even the tough loss to Tri-Township in overtime, you're right there. You had 4 guys on the court. I think that's what probably is something that's missed in that story, is you were able to push it to overtime with 4 kids on the court. You almost pushed it to a second overtime, which was pretty incredible.
We should have won the game. Let's be realistic here. We should have won the game. Not taking nothing away from them at all. But, and just in this past week, we went to Trinity. Tough place to play.
Yep.
We had the game won. It sounds easy for me to say now. We've got the game won. We're with a minute and a half to go. 2 of our kids, one kid falls out, another kid twists his ankle. So we're down 2 kids, and they go up and win by 2 or 3 points.
Yeah.
But it was a great victory as far as a moral victory, if you want to call it that. But it's just.
There's several of these games. Wheeler, you're in that game. You're in the game against North White. You end up beating Knox. One of your cross-county rivals. You beat conference foe Culver.
New Prairie. We had the game won against New Prairie the first time at home. It's just.
There's been moments.
There's been moments, and credit to those kids. There's been moments, but it takes more than moments to win games. It's like we're going this week to play in the sectional. Of course, we're going to play probably I'd say the favorite to win it all. I don't know. But you're going to play Triton in the first round, and we're going to have our hands full. But you know what? Anybody can win. It's 0-0, as everyone said, and it just comes down to the focus by our kids and how much work they want to put in. They can do it, or they can do a lot of good things, but you can't talk it.
Yeah, Coach Breden was talking to me a few minutes ago. They had saw Triton last night, tough loss to Triton. He said they're playing really good right now. Of course, they were coming off a loss this past Tuesday to Bremen. That was kind of a shocker for a lot of people in the area, except for Bremen, obviously.
Bremen's a great team, great
Bremen
coach.
Is good. Bremen is good.
They've got that kid.
It was a good game.
He's good.
And Triton lost, and sometimes you get a team like that that kind of wakes you up a little bit. Maybe wakes a sleeping bear potentially here. So like you're saying, you got your hands full defensively. What do you think you're going to have to ask your boys to step up to do?
Well, they're going to zone us, I'm sure. Everyone does, and it's just, it comes down to us setting screens. We get a little passive now and then, and we quit playing the game. And when you quit playing the game in high school basketball, runs are made and they're made fast. Okay, and so we've got to be prepared to continue to move and just do the little things that it's really more about us. I know that's probably a cliche that a lot of people use, but it's more about us than it is them. They're a good team. There's no doubt,
Yeah.
And we've got to do a lot right to win that game, but we can. And I say we, it comes down to all of us. So,
know you're low on numbers. How's the health on the ball club?
Well, yesterday we practiced with 3 kids not practicing, 2 sprained ankles, and actually 3 bad knee and 2 sprained ankles. So we're down, a little bit, but hey, we played in that one game with 4. We'll play with 4 again if we have to. So.
I know you're originally from Iowa, but I'm sure you love the movie Hoosiers. Any stories about Hoosiers?
No, I've watched it several times. I watch it with kids. I mean, it is a great movie, and like I was telling Chris, it's just so it's written before its time, so to speak, but it's still right in our time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it is. You can relate to different things. You can find a school and pick a school and relate to it, but you can relate to the crowd. You can relate to the travel and the just the way it all worked out. It is a great movie, and it was just, I don't know.
It speaks volumes for
it does,
basketball.
and even in more than basketball, in life.
Yeah.
That's the thing people forget. We come in here every Saturday, we talk about X and O's, and I probably don't spend enough time talking about it. But listen, life's going to go on tomorrow when the season ends, and these kids are going to go on to something bigger and better, hopefully. Yeah. And I yell and scream and other coaches and do this, do that, but guess what? The sun's going to come up tomorrow, and those kids have got to learn that life goes on, just like in the movie.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, I wanted to let you know because you were part of our on-air spat last week.
Yeah,
me and Mitch had.
Who won?
I actually extended an olive branch this morning. I called on my way in and said, "Hey, I'm going to pick up some breakfast. Would you like something?" But Mitch being too good, he didn't accept the offer.
Oh, remember that?
I know.
I'm not I love breakfast food. I don't eat in the morning. I'm a weirdo.
Well, he gets nervous before the show.
I still get nervous, Coach.
Probably trying to do some wrestling moves out there in the parking lot.
I'm like, how's he going to show up today? I'd better be ready.
I extended the olive branch.
He did.
Oh, good. Because I was, seriously, I thought we could use that as a fundraiser, maybe, and
I thought that
get some things going. We could do it in the parking lot here.
I told him. I said we need to come up with skits more often.
I want the wrestling names. I want to know what your wrestling names are.
I still didn't come up with one.
I remember that's
I was thinking about it, but I didn't come up with a good one.
Let's just work on that. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
For next week.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, we'll be seeing you this coming Tuesday at North Judson. Very excited for it. We'll talk to you then.
Yeah, great. It's a great place to play over there. I've seen miracles happen, as I've said, in that place, and I'm sure we're going to see some more. So,
Coach, thanks as always for your time. I appreciate it.
Chris, I know you want to say something.
What's he talking about?
I can just remember being a young kid and going and watching when Oregon Davis had Smalley and Joe and all those guys, and they got upset by West Central.
Yeah,
by a little guy named Bobby Knievel, who lit them up, and probably one of the biggest upsets in high school basketball.
Yep. Yeah, it was. There's been some great games over there, and great kids, great basketball players.
At North Judson. Well, what's the one you keep thinking of?
Oh, there's just been some calls there that I think somebody made in the crowd. Their call was made because it's the most mysterious calls I've ever seen in my life. That's what I'm talking
light
about.
Switches make a call.
Oh yeah,
no comment.
Yeah. I would say not because I've seen them. The clock don't start and just.
But I will say this about the clocks. Because in the gym, there's 2 clocks, one on the east end and one on the west end. And one day in practice, I looked at Coach McCullough, and I said,
"Great coach."
Yeah, he's being inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame here in March. So congratulations to him. But I remember looking at him, and I said, "Coach, how come there's like 10 minutes difference on the clocks? And one's fast, one's slow." He said, "Well, Chris," he said, "it's pretty simple." He said, "We start on the fast one. We end on the slow one. We get 20 minutes of extra practice."
Yeah.
Jeez. Great stories, guys. I appreciate your time, Coach. We'll talk this Tuesday.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that is head coach of the Oregon Davis Bobcats. It is Larry Sennert here on the Saturday Sports Line. We're going to go to the second hour. Our Athlete of the Week interview with South Central Satellites. Clayten Strauch is up next. We'll also talk Culver Cavalier basketball with head coach Drew Mosson. And then right before the Where the Now segment, We will have Winamac boys basketball head coach Mike Springer. That's all coming up next in the second hour.
Corner. Noah Howard's going to pop a three. Far corner, Noah Howard. And he liked that when he showed off the little finger guns there after that.
He's feeling it with those light blues on.
19-point lead for the Satellites. It's really opened up for them.
It's hard to believe, but time sure does fly by. Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox are celebrating over 30 years of taking care of all of your insurance needs in our communities.
If I could turn back time.
And we're not going anywhere.
Stop in and see Jim and the crew at Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox.
Insurance you can count on from a business you've trusted since 1989.
Proud presidential partners of Western Reserve.
It's time now for Hour 2 of the Saturday Sports Line with your host, Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI Sports Director, Mitch Columbi, and sports analyst, Chris McGowan.
We are back for more from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios. This is the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line. It is time to talk about our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week, senior basketball player from South Central, Clayten Strauch. Last week, Clayten dropped 15 points on 7 of 10 attempts in the Satellites' win against Argus. He also had 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals. We broadcast his senior night game last Saturday against the Knox Redskins, where he had that memorable moment we will never forget along with Breden Lautenbach. Quite an impressive performance that night for both seniors, but our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week, Clayten Strauch, really put on a show. Without further ado, here's my sit-down interview with South Central Satellite senior, Clayten Strauch.
All right, I am with our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week. It is senior from South Central, Clayten Strauch. Man, Clayten, last year we talked to you. It was for doing well on the volleyball team. Now here we are this year. It's for the basketball team, and we know you're a several sport athlete here at South Central. Tell the listeners all the sports that you do here at South Central or have.
So I play basketball, I play volleyball, then I played football. That's about it.
Yeah, and talk about this basketball team. It's pretty amazing what we saw this past weekend on senior night. We've talked to Coach a few times on the Saturday Sports Line, but from your perspective, how do you like this team right now?
We're getting to our best basketball here late in the season, which is great. Beginning of the season kind of struggled a little bit, but we're picking it up, getting to what we can be, and that's why I like the guys just play hard every night, so that's good.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the guys. Who else on this basketball team at South Central do you believe we should know about?
Jay, obviously, leading scorer, gonna hit 1,000 points next season. Noah, about to break the old 3-point record that Jay just broke. Jack's been putting in minutes, played some great defense the last few games, and then our big Breden Lautenbach, he's just a big guy.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of fun when we watch you guys play. You play together, and it seems like you really want to see others succeed. Talk about the friendship. It seems like it's more than just guys on the court. It seems like this is a group of friends.
Well, almost every day we have a couple guys from the team go out and hang out with each other. So we got Jay, Noah, Jack all go to the Bible study every Wednesday morning. Me and Lala hang out pretty regularly, so it's just all around a friend group.
And you talk about Breden Lautenbach this past Saturday night was pretty fun on senior night. I don't know if I've seen a moment quite like that. I've seen where they have the seniors check out, and they get applauded, but I don't know if I've been a part of a moment in my 3 years of doing this where you had a shot, I believe it was missed off, but was that an alley-oop off the glass to Breden Lautenbach?
Well, I saw him under the rim, so I decided to throw him the ball. I didn't think he'd catch it and oop it in. I just thought he'd get a layup out of it. He put his own little flair on that, I guess.
Then he ends up hitting the three. You end up hitting a three. And it just was a really cool moment because then Coach Bush checked you guys out and you guys got the standing ovation. That whole sequence, you could tell was really special. Talk about it from your standpoint. I know I saw you jumping up and down when Breden hit that three.
Well, I mean, he is 1 for 1 in his career, so I guess he does go down as the best volume shooter in South Central history. But anyways, our assistant coach, Kurt Welsh, actually told Bush, because Lalo was going to get subbed out before that, and he told Bush that he needed to get him an attempt, and so he got the attempt, and he just fortunately made it, so it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I always enjoyed talking to Coach Matty Bush. Talk about Coach Bush and the coaching staff. What is it that they do that you appreciate?
Well, the coaching staff they're tight-knit with us too, so that's always a good thing. You got our strength and conditioning coach, Dave. He jumping around the gym sometimes, running out of the gym, like when Lala hit the three. He was sprinting out of the gym. Kurt Welsh, great guy, been coaching me for years, baseball and Little League and everything like that. Bush, every day he's getting more and more comfortable with us, so that's great. He just came in last year, but yeah, JV coach Schroeder, he's been coaching me since I was a little kid too, so I've known most of these guys for a while.
Yeah, let's talk about a goal that you had in mind coming into your senior year of basketball. What is something that you wanted to accomplish, maybe for yourself or for this team?
Well, at the end of last year, I accumulated a decent amount of assists, so this year that was kind of my main goal, is to rack up as many as I could. So that's the only thing I had personal.
Yeah, and then talk about a goal that the coaching staff had set for this team, something that Coach Bush and the guys have been talking about you wanting to achieve this year.
Well, I think it's every team's goal to go and win a sectional, regional, make it all the way to state. Ours was mainly the PCC tournament, just to get us up in the ranks in the PCC, and we came really close, but in the end, a couple shots didn't go down, and that just ended the run.
Sure. You drew North Judson-San Pierre for first round of sectionals. We remember that first matchup. We were there for that one in the Nest. You have experience in the Nest, and we've talked with head coach Matty Bush. You guys seem to shoot well in the Nest and play well, especially we remember last year that tough loss in sectionals. I believe it was Hebron. Yeah, to Hebron. So you guys like playing there. What was it like when you found out you were going to play the Jays?
Well, we knew that we were going to play at Judson no matter what. It's just drawing Judson, them getting the home court. It's kind of, what normally happens. I feel like I've played Judson 2 of the 3 years I've been on varsity in the first round, so it's nothing really new. The games are always close, so I just know it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tell us your parents' names.
My mom's name is Carrie Strauch. My dad's name is Ryan Strauch.
And talk about the support system they've been for you.
Well, I'm pretty sure I said this the last time I was on here, but I don't think they've missed more than 7 games total in my time playing sports. They're really just there for everything, and they don't like to miss things. The most important thing to them is hearing my name on the starting lineups, getting called out onto the court, which I think is awesome. So yeah, them just being there all the time. I look for them in the stands and stuff. Them just being there is just very great.
What's it mean to Clayten Strauch to be a South Central satellite?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't rather be anywhere else, really. I mean, Satellite Nation.
Clayten, I always appreciate chatting with you. Congratulations for being named, again, one of our Tyler Roth WKVI Athletes of the Week.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I appreciate Clayten for his time. Also, big-time shout-out to South Central Satellite Athletic Director Chuck Wilhelm for helping me set that interview up, as we are going to take a break real quick. More sports talk on the way. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Look at that.
Big three.
And
Clayten
there he
Strauch
goes.
for three. And he liked that one. Big three by Clayten Strauch. 54-28 is the score here. Here comes Clayten. Lob up to Breden. Loudenbach, the alley-oop.
Look at that. I see you, senior, on senior night.
Senior to senior connection here on senior night, 51-28. And Matty Bush just goes, oh my gosh, he's smiling. Breden Loudenbach. Senior night!
Give it to the young fella.
Clayten Strauch is jumping up and down.
Look at that joy.
Throws three fingers in the air.
See, this is why we do it. This is why we do stuff like that. Again, largely didn't really need it, and there he goes.
There he goes. So Luke Loudenbach will come in for Breden Loudenbach on senior night. The whole place is going nuts. Breden was so excited. Big three, top of the key. Oh, man. And then now Clayten Strauch will check out. Hunter Luke will come in, the sophomore. And there's our Tyler Roth, WKVI Athlete of the Week on senior night. Clayten Strauch taking a seat, getting a standing ovation as we're orbiting here in the launch pad.
The Stark County Co-op has been a member-owned farm services co-op in Stark County since 1928. That's over 90 years, and they're still providing the same quality agronomy services to the farming community of Stark and surrounding counties. The Stark County Co-op is an LP and fuel provider. The Stark County Co-op purchases grain at both locations, Hamlet and Brems. You can reach them by phone at 1-800-782-3392, the Stark County Co-op.
There's a trend happening around the educational world. More and more high school graduates are attending smaller community colleges to start their educational journey. At Marion University's Ancilla College, we welcome students from all walks of life. The opportunities at Marion University are endless, from living on campus to being a collegiate student athlete. From day one, your professors will help you create a plan for a success at Marion and beyond. Find out more about Marion University's Ancilla College through our website at marion.edu/Ancilla today.
Now let's return to more of the Saturday Sports Line with WKVI Sports Director Mitch Columbi.
Adam back to Jonas, almost threw it away, but he saves it. He'll split the defenders, gets inside, off the glass. Jonas McEwen, oh man.
That was a real nice take by McEwen right there, and a nice finish as well.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Line, the longest running high school sports show in Indiana, thanks to our very own Harold Welter. We transition to Culver Cavalier boys basketball with head coach Drew Mosson. We've got him in the house. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Not too bad. Welcome to the station.
I know, this is my first time here, I think.
Ever?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we're glad to have you. We're honored to have you. We physically can see you. This is great, Chris.
I have a face for radio, don't I?
Hey, I've been told that several times, and heck, my brother just a couple of weeks ago said the same thing. Well, actually, he said my mom said it.
Your mom picks on
Thanks,
you.
Mom.
My mom
Thanks a
thinks
lot.
I have a face for radio.
Does she pick on you more than Danny?
Yeah, because Danny's a baby. He'd cry.
Oh, no. Shots fired here.
He would cry. I just told her,
Hope he's
shut up.
not listening. He might show up here. Coach,
I'll go lock the door.
Go lock. We'll chat for
Yeah.
Coach, we'll talk about this season as a whole. It's been, like you said, from the ground up, kind of similar situation to what we've talked about with Jason Breden, head coach of the Knox Redskins. You come in for your inaugural season. You know it's not going to be easy. You're building a program from the ground up, and it's not going to always look pretty. Tell us your opinion on this inaugural season at Culver from your point of view.
Yeah, I mean, when I got the job, obviously there were some players that I thought we would have in our program that just chose to go a different direction with their lives. So that kind of put us in a bind from the get-go. So we started off the season with 11 kids total in our high school program, which is pretty low even for a 1A. But I thought with what we had, I thought we still could have a decent year. I thought we could win a few games, beat some teams, just by our X's and O's and the way that we like to approach basketball and day in and day out. But as the season went on, obviously we lost 4 more kids during the year. Again, they just kind of bailed on their teammates and their classmates, and they're going to have to live with that. But so us as a coaching staff, we just kind of it was all the time we had to reevaluate how do we get better? How do we we got rid of set plays that we ran because certain players weren't around anymore, and then we had to put other kids in situations to try to get them to be more successful. And we had 3 freshmen, 2 of which we probably never really thought would play much varsity, and then they kind of got thrown into the wolves there after Christmas, and there's some growing pains with freshmen that really didn't. I mean, they probably didn't expect to play any varsity, and as coaches know, there's a big step from 8th grade to freshman ball, let alone 8th grade to JV, and then we're really talking a jump if you're going 8th grade to varsity basketball. Everybody scouts and there's film going everywhere, and I think that was just a big adjustment for some of our young guys.
Someone, you talk about younger guys, Colton Howard getting quite a bit of time, one of the younger guys. And then also, obviously the McEwen brothers, they're going to provide for you and give you what you need. You just heard the call there. Jonas shows up. He's a competitor. Of course, he plays on the football team. He's the starting quarterback. So you have several sport athletes on this team, good leadership in the McEwen brothers. And then you also have a good shooter in Braylon Jackson that's shown up at times from what we have seen. So there has to be some positives that you've seen in growth from the beginning.
Yeah, I think now we have 8 guys. But the 7 guys that have been with us all season, I think all of them are better than they were in November. Obviously some of them take 3 steps forward and a step back at times. But when you only have 7 guys or 8 guys at times during the season, it's hard for us to really get deep and make them work really hard and get them in shape the right way and make sure they're playing the right way at all times when there's only that many kids, because it's hard to keep kids accountable, day in and day out on certain things. But we're pretty pleased as a staff with the growth that the kids have shown this season. Again, with the cards that they had to play, I'm sure they were looking at, they felt like they were probably playing cards in a different language at times, just because of the stresses that they were going through, just being in situations that they probably didn't think they'd have to go through.
A cool story that I told Chris when we did the game against Tri-Township over a week ago, and I think it's a cool story to share with the listeners, is Drake Zorich.
Oh, yeah.
He did a full season of wrestling. You think about this. He played football, so he's been going since midsummer. Then joined wrestling, did the full wrestling season. It comes to an end, and then he joins the basketball team the last couple of weeks here, the regular season. Talk about that. I think that's a cool story. A 3-sport athlete in 2 semesters.
Right, yeah.
No. Yeah. That's incredible.
Well, yeah, really, it's like 3-9 weeks. It's not.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
barely anything.
Right.
And he's played 3 sports in that amount of time. That's a pretty neat story, I think.
Yeah, and Drake, when I originally got the job, he was a guy that came to all the basketball workouts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was a basketball kid.
Interesting. So he got snagged.
So he got snagged. He chose wrestling. He came to me like the Thursday, Friday before basketball season started, official practice, and said that he had thought about wrestling again.
He's built.
Him and Theron Carrington are just like 2 of the strongest kids I've seen. But
Theron,
he came to me and said, "Coach, hey, I might wrestle again," and I just kind of was like, this hadn't been brought up before. I was kind of caught off guard, and I was like, go to wrestling for a couple of days, come to basketball once or twice, and then we can kind of hopefully figure something out to where I really wanted him to do both.
So juggling.
Yes. Wow. I mean, 1A,
you'd have taken him.
You're right. Yeah. 1A teams, 1A schools, there's, when I was in high school, there was always kids that played multiple sports in the same season. Again, it's just something that the coaches talk about, and then the athlete has to figure out, if there's an event on the same night, where am I going, and so on and so forth. And he just ultimately chose wrestling. And then as wrestling season progressed and we kind of got towards the end of wrestling season, he approached me again. He said, "Hey, Coach, can I play basketball when wrestling's over?" And I said, "Heck yeah." Because at that time we were down to 7 guys, and we needed somebody with some energy, and he's just a kind of a ball of energy. I guess his personality is great, and so he's been the month that he's been with us, or about a month that he's been with us, it's been really good. And I hopefully, selfishly, I hope he sticks with basketball and plays with us this summer, and then plays with us next season.
I don't think Coach Bushman probably liked to hear that, but that's all right.
I guess ultimately, it's Drake's life. He can kind of make a decision.
Well, he got him the full season.
Right. So what was the reasoning behind not being able to do both at the same time? Was too many conflicting nights?
No, it just really never progressed into
It's a big commitment.
Yeah, and like when I mentioned it to Drake, it was he's like, I got to talk to wrestling coach or Coach Bushman, and then I just never got any deeper than that, and so I just kind of let it go and let Drake make a decision because he's a young man and he can make his choices himself, and so but yeah, I was glad when he approached me towards the end of the wrestling season that he wanted to help us out and try to play some basketball.
Because I'm being from Tri Township the last 8 years or whatever. I've
dual sport athletes.
Oh, you're talking about there are in the fall there are some girls that are doing 3 sports in one season.
That's crazy.
They're running cross country, they're playing volleyball, and they're doing girls golf.
Hendrickson did that.
Yeah, so to play 3 in one season, not 2 in one season.
Yeah,
it's just unbelievable.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, we talk about sectionals. An interesting draw for you was Elkhart Christian. That was a close game back on December 14th. Of course, that was a different team. You look a lot different now, and you've grown up since then, maturation-wise. But you only lost. It was 36-29. Mm-hmm. So that game must have been something that was close for you early on.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those games that we had beat Lakeland Christian, a week or two prior. I felt like, we had chances at the end of the game. We made a couple of runs, and I felt like if we could get over that hump and get a win there, I felt like we could get a couple in a row, get some momentum for a team that was kind of struggling to score at the time. But yeah, they just made plays, made some free throws down the stretch of that game and sealed it. But yeah, that was one of those games that I really wanted early in our year, just to kind of as a momentum builder, as obviously as a sectional opponent, as we found out last weekend. But yeah, I mean, it should be another good game. Both teams are different now. Both teams are better than what they were in December. They're doing similar things to what they did when we played them the first time. We're doing some different things. So yeah, it should be a good matchup there at 5:30 on Tuesday.
Yeah, we're going to be there for you. It's going to be a lot of fun. You saw Bremen last night to button up your regular season. Of course, they were coming off a big win on Tuesday against Triton. That was the night we had talked. That game played out on Max 98.3, our other station. But you saw Bremen last night, and this late in the season, a team like that's probably something good to let your guys see heading into sectional play. Like, hey, if you want to make a run, this is the type of ball you're going to have to be playing. This is the type of confidence you're going to have to be playing with.
Yeah, absolutely. And some coaches, when you're in a situation like we are, wouldn't want to play a team that has a scorer like Chase Devine and has the size of Bremen and a bigger school than what you're going to face next week. But you got to play good teams to try and get better and to enter. If we can get through ECA, we have to play Triton on Friday night. Like, most likely, I'm not discouraging OD there, but Triton's they're the dogs in the sectional there. So yeah, it was a good night for us to kind of just see a team that again beat Triton. What are they gonna so now we can connect the dots. We played Triton twice earlier, so now hopefully our kids kind of see it in a different light and have a little bit of extra maybe confidence going into Tuesday night.
Talk about health of the ball club. How are you?
Yeah, I mean, knock on wood, we've been pretty healthy this year. We haven't really dealt with much, especially in the last month and a half. We've stayed away from that flu bug, and maybe it's just because our school's so small and the kids are on the phones all the time and they're not talking to each other. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, we've been pretty blessed that we haven't had to deal with any crazy injuries or illnesses going around.
I was just going to ask, Judson came to Culver this season, so are you guys actually going to make it to North Judson to practice?
Yeah, so since we're the closest school to Judson, we got the short straw, and so the last 2 time options were today from like 2 to 3:30 or 3 to 4, and I was like, that's a terrible time to go practice on a Saturday afternoon. So we're gonna go over there on Monday night, actually.
Nice.
It's not ideal with the draw. I really wanted a Wednesday draw with practicing on Monday, but yeah, we'll be there in the evening at Judson to get our practice in and get our shots up the night before our game, which could work out in our favor. Just it'll be a late night the night before a game.
Okay. What do you know about? You got any Hoosiers stories? We're remembering Gene Hackman today. It was a tough loss this week, and I know you love basketball. You grew up in the state of Indiana. You've played in some pretty important games as well. We've talked about that. talk about the movie Hoosiers and what that had an impression on you.
Yeah, I mean, typically, when I was growing up, it was a movie that I watched. Like tomorrow night, Sunday night of sectional week, I would always, get it out on.
I want to watch it now too.
On a VHS, or when I was a child, or a DVD, and
right.
Now everything's streamed, so I got to find it on Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those movies that being from Indiana and as a basketball player and now as a coach, it's like it gives you those goosebumps every time you watch it. It gives me goosebumps and the feeling that those that coach has in the movie and the players have. Now I have both feelings. So it's one of those things that
right.
like the goosebumps are probably enhanced more than they ever have been, because now I have the feeling of what coach went through a little bit. And then obviously as a player, I got to make it down to the state finals a couple times. So I know how those players feel. Obviously there's a lot of decades between when they played and when I played.
Right.
So it's a little bit different, but I mean, yeah, being from a small school myself and then them being a small school. Yeah. It's just one of those movies that hopefully my boys, get into in the next couple of years so they can watch it with me on Sunday nights before we try to win some sectional championships.
Well, Coach, it's always an honor to talk to you. I appreciate you coming in. It means a lot, and we look forward to seeing you here on Tuesday against Elkhart Christian. We're going to be there for you.
Yeah, we can't wait to have you guys. It's been great having you the last couple of weeks at a handful of our games, and hopefully our guys get ready to go Monday night so we can put out a decent showing there against Elkhart Christian, and everybody starts 0-0 in tournament time in the state of Indiana. So anything's possible, and so we're gonna do our best to play hard and play the right way on Tuesday night.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that is head coach of the Culver Cavaliers. It is Drew Mosson here on the Saturday Sports Line. We will see them Tuesday night in Game 1 of that sectional. There in North Judson, we'll be going live at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, right here on 99.3 FM and WKVI.com, streaming throughout the world. We're going to take a break, come back. We're going to talk Winamac Warrior boys basketball with head coach Mike Springer. He's up next. 4:30 to go here in the third, 29-15. The Redskins lead the Cavs. Now it's Adam Peterson, top of the key. 3, cash money. The senior Adam Peterson, the lone senior on this Cavs team. And now it's 29-18.
You've been around all night, and that's a little long. You think you got the right, but I think you got it wrong. Well, can't you say goodnight?
One of our hometown businesses here in our area in Monterey, it's LAP Waste.
Being able to recycle is one of our main goals at LAP Waste. Being able to say that we only take about 8% of our trash to the dump is pretty impressive for us, and we hope to keep building on that.
We service an 80-mile circle from Monterey. If you have a small job, big job, or just have a one-time, we are here to make a difference in this area.
And that phone number, Kirby?
574-542-4019.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Pulaski Memorial Hospital. Quality care closer to home. Pulaski Memorial Hospital is all about community and keeping our community spotlight shining on the accomplishments of our youth. That's why PMH is proud to be a sponsor of our local high school sports action on WKVI, our community radio station. Pulaski Memorial Hospital. Quality care closer to home.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news. Some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
You're listening to Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Back from the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios, this is the Saturday Sports Line. We transitioned to Winamac to talk Warriors boys basketball with head coach Mike Springer. I've got him on the line. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Mitch. It's a beautiful day.
Isn't it, though?
It's a beautiful day. We got sectionals, we got tournament, we got memories to be made. ready to go.
Man, I already like this interview, Coach. I can tell. You finish off the regular season 3 wins in a row. You finish things up on Thursday on the road, beating DeMont Christian 54-28. All signs point to this team's rocking at the right time.
Yeah, we're healthy and we're shooting the ball well, and probably more than anything, our defense has really stepped up here in the last 3 games, and we're gonna need that heading into the tournament. We need that defense to travel with us, but the guys are doing a good job of communicating on the defensive end for us. They're blocking out well. We got the ball going in transition pretty good, we feel like, and we're finding the open man, and that's been a strength of ours throughout the season, finding that open man, and we've got to continue to do that.
Yeah, Coach, I'm looking at stats. Will Malco doing what he does, leading the team, 12.5 points a game. Brendan Hines right behind him with 11.7, and then Justin Potoff right around 10 per game. Rebounds, Will's grabbing the most rebounds, right around 5 per game. Ethan Burgess right behind him with 4.5. You got Jabin Hines, 4 assists per game. Brendan Hines over 2 steals per game. There isn't just one guy that's leading the charge for this Warrior team.
No, we've really become a balance on the offense and the defense, and I think that's one of the keys for us going forward. Like at DeMont Christian the other night, Potoff got I think he got 17. Burgess, Ethan got in double figures, and we didn't need Will's and Brendan's double figure that night. They scored, which was a good thing. I'm glad they did. But and Jabin Hines came in and got us some good points as well. So it's a team that. We got different guys that can score different nights, and the best thing is that these guys don't care who scores. They just want to score more than the other team.
All right, Coach. So Tuesday night, you take on the Trailblazers of Career Academy. Struggling for wins this year. They finished their season at 1-21. What do you know about the Trailblazers, and what concerns you?
Well, I'll tell you what concerns me is that they took Triton, a really good Triton team, to the last quarter and only got beat by 7, 8 points. And the Triton coach texts me the next day and says, do not overlook these guys. And that really concerns me when the best coach in our conference is saying, you got to be careful because these guys can play. So, we'll have our work cut out for us. We're getting out of the Pulaski, Stark County area, Cass County area to play. And, we're going to have to really be sharp with the ball. They have good quickness. They score in transition. They've got some good 3-point shooters. And their last few games here in February, the tempo of the game has slowed down for them, and that's one thing that they have tried to do against Triton was to control the tempo, and we got to be ready for them trying to do that. Because they've got kids that can take care of the basketball, but I feel like we got a better team, and we're going to have to be ready to defend dribble penetration. We're going to have to be able to defend transition. We're going to make sure our guards are getting back and everybody's sprinting down the floor, and if we can do those things on the defensive end, I feel comfortable with where we'll be come the end of the game.
Yeah, that's something you guys do well, is pushing the ball in transition, getting that tempo to where you want it. So I agree with you, Coach. That's something you want to control. You don't want to let them control it. What I find interesting about this Jimtown sectional is when you take care of it, I say when you take care of business in round one, then you've got Bremen, who's playing well right now, awaiting the winner between you and Career Academy. And then on the flip side, Knox is awaiting the winner of LaVille and Jimtown. So this isn't what Justin Ruff would call a cupcake sectional.
No, it's not. We got a lot of wins on our record. The competition that Jimtown and LaVille and Bremen, they play a lot of the schools in the South Bend area, and that can create some problems for us later. But we're going to take the first game, win it, and not worry about the second one until the first one's over.
Well, Coach, I sure do appreciate you hopping on here. Last question is, how is the health of the ball club heading into sectionals?
Good. It's good. We've recovered from all of our sickness that was hitting us, and Justin Putoff's back and raring to go from his concussion. And we finished up a strong JV year for us. I think we might have been 19-4 or something like that on the JV, and my coaching staff has done a great job. Aaron Hines, Matt Swartzel, and Andy Stepp, they've done a great job this year. And our JVs have really played hard in practice, made things tough for the varsity, and we're feel good health-wise, and the health of the program is in pretty good shape.
Well, Coach, take care of business on Tuesday so we can see you on Friday. How sounds good?
Sounds great, Mitch. Thank you for all you do here in the area for the kids and the schools and stuff and the communities, and it's just a great thing.
Thank you for what you do at Winamac, Coach. It's much appreciated. I always appreciate your time.
Sure thing.
All right, that is head coach of the Winamac Warriors. It is Mike Springer here on the Saturday Sports Line. All of our area teams are set for a sectional run. The West Central Trojans face off against South Newton this coming Tuesday. 6 p.m. Eastern is the scheduled tip-off time. The Jimtown sectional sees Winamac on Tuesday taking on Career Academy. Roughly 7:30 p.m. Eastern is the scheduled tip-off time for that game. And then on Tuesday also at North Judson, that's where we will be. The Culver Cavaliers take on Elkhart Christian. The Oregon Davis Bobcats take on Triton there on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we'll see South Central take on North Judson. And then finally, the Tri-Township Tigers are at the Couch sectional on Wednesday for the opening round. They take on Westville. Good luck to all of our area boys basketball teams as we enter the best time of the year. We're going to transition to the Where They Now segment with Harold Welter. He's got somebody you know pretty well, Chris, Wes Radtke. He's going to be on the Where They Now segment here up next.
Yeah, and Wes Radtke, Coach Radtke, and his girls are down in the state championship today, Class 2A, taking on South Knox. A little bit of an underdog, but I tell you what, I'm going to go home and find that game online and watch it.
Well, congratulations to Wes Radtke and the Rensselaer Bombers. They are in the state championship. Stand by for that interview. The Where They Now segment with Harold Welter and Wes Radtke is up next. Zorge skip pass. Adam Peterson now to the near corner. Caleb McEwen pops the three. Splash. Big three. In a big moment. The Cavs needed that one. 15-9 now. Up top to Cole Jordan. Entry pass to Tegan Johnson. Lob up to Miles McLaughlin for the alley-oop. And that's how you beat the 2-3.
That was a great look by Tegan Johnson.
Stay tuned for more sports talk with Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, the Saturday Sports Line.
It's time now for Where Are They Now? A look back at more than a half century of local high school sports coverage on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. Today's program is brought to you by Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox. Now let's meet one of the local high school sports figures from more than 50 years of WKVI sports and find out where are they now.
As we look back on more than 50 years of broadcasting high school sports in the Kankakee Valley area here on WKVI, our guest is Wes Radtke, a 1995 graduate of North Judson-San Pierre High School. And we call this segment, Where Are They Now? But we know where you are now, Wes. You're in Indianapolis getting ready to play for a state championship with your Rensselaer Central Bombers, and we want to talk with you about that. This has been quite a ride. Your young ladies are playing their best ball of the season right at the right time, huh?
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully after today we'll be finally playing our best of all time, and peaking at the right time to finish this off. But the girls are absolutely playing the best basketball, of all season long, and they're really gelling well together, and they're a fun group to coach and be around.
Tell me about this team and what makes them so effective.
I tell you, their tenacity, their no quit efforts, they're all in on everything. There's no jealousy between any of them. When you're in the locker room, they're contagious with each other. There's no, I like to use the term energy vampires. They're all bringing that energy to help each other out. They love each other. They care about each other. And those, I think, are the biggest attributes. And then the other fact of it is, I really think they love playing for me. And I'm not trying to make me sound like I'm some coach guru. They really enjoy being around what we're doing. They want to be pushed. They want to be coached. They want to be challenged. And those are all the things that I love to be able to do with my teams. And this group in particular has really taken the lead with that. And the last thing is, I would say, is they want it more than I do. And that's something special because you've been around me long enough, and those that know me, I hate to lose, and I want to win at all times. And these girls have really, again, taking it to another level of a player wanting it more than their coach.
Part of that has to do, I'm sure, with the fact that you've come close the last few years, and these girls have been part of teams that could have won that first sectional for you, or could have won that regional for you, and just it didn't happen until this year. So they're pretty darn hungry, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And last year in particular was actually, let me go back farther than that. When Van Meter was a freshman, we had a really good group and lost to a really good South Central team in the sectional championship game here, and again lost to that by 3 points. And then you go throughout the other times where last year we had lost one game. We were 22-1 and going to the sectional and came up short. And these girls were a part of that as well. And just those different times of, I think they just finally got enough of that taste in their mouth that, after last year's loss, this group of girls met me on Monday morning in the weight room, and right then and there they wanted to be challenged more. They made me be a better coach, made them, strength and conditioning was a big part of what they were wanting to do, and this group really took a hold of that, and they have surprised me every step of the way with the fact of, we're not done yet, Coach, we still got more left, and you're right, they've been there enough, and they've had enough of the coming up short.
Well, you're just minutes away from playing South Knox, and I had said the other day how apropos it would be for you as an old North Judson-San Pierre Blue Jay. You've already beaten Knox, you've already beaten North Knox, and now you're playing South Knox for a state championship. It couldn't be any better than that, could it? Beat Knox 3 times in 1 year and win a state championship?
That would be great, and I never really thought of that till you had brought that up. That those are 3 Knoxes I've got to play, and that was, like you said, back in the day, that would have been licking my chops for those opportunities, and these girls are ready for that, and for the opportunity to play against the number 1 team in the state all year long in Class 2A. And we're looking forward to the opportunity to try to finish off the trifecta of beating the Knoxes. I guess you could look at that in the state of Indiana, trying to get the job done today and looking forward to it.
Tell us about South Knox. What do you know about that number 1 ranked team in 2A?
I've watched about every one of their games. They're very quick. They like to get out and run. They like to put a lot of points up, but they want to score quickly and score fast. They want to put a lot of pressure and turn you over and make you uncomfortable with the basketball. They run some different types of defenses at you, from full court to half court, and they have some athletes that can score quickly. Like I said, they're number one for a reason. They crash the boards hard. They do a lot of nice things. And the other thing I told my girls is, they play well together. They look for each other. They like playing for their coach as well. So it's going to be a real test for us that we have to come and bring our best game and really be able to match their intensity. When you get out there, the nerves are flowing, and you get a little dry mouth, a little cotton mouth, and the ball may look or the rim may look a mile away, and it's really right there. So there's a lot of things we have to keep in mind as we get ready to play this game against the number one team in the state of Indiana. And again, if you look at all the stats and everything that everybody's putting up there, we're not picked to win. But, I told the girls, and this, that's why we play the game. And so we're going to give it our best shot here on Saturday.
And speaking of defense, boy, that's been a corner of your success all season long, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And not trying to rehash old days, but that was what my forte was. That's what I love to do, was to be that hard-nosed defensive player. And that's something I've tried to carry across into this program when I took over 9 years ago, was to have that defensive mindset and to have that mindset that, if you're going to beat us, you have to be pretty doggone good at it, because we're going to be ready for anything and everything they throw at us defensively, that we can shut them down offensively and be ready to take their best shots and just be ready for any kind of adjustments they might make. And defensively, that's what we're going to continue to hang our hat on. That's why I told the girls, we got this far because we played great defense and team defense, not individual, but great team defense. And it's led us to this part. And as well as anybody else, that defense wins championships. And I firmly believe that. And so we're going to give it our best shot here with these girls and this defense that we have.
We're talking with Wes Radtke, a 1995 graduate of North Judson-San Pierre High School, here on our Where Are They Now segment, and we'll continue our conversation after this timeout.
Need a game plan that has your day covered from tip-off to the buzzer? Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox has you covered. Whether you like to start out with a caffeinated full-court press or control the tempo with a Subway breakfast flatbread, Osborne's Mini Mart has what you need. Don't get trapped in the corner with an empty stomach. Call a quick timeout and get 2 hot dogs. Visit Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox at the corner of US 35 and Highway 8 East to guarantee you win the day.
Our guest is Wes Radtke, a 1995 graduate of North Judson-San Pierre High School. And going back to your high school days, which some of us remember, you were part of maybe the best boys basketball team ever in the Kankakee Valley area when you were semi-state runners-up and had that season where you only lost to one team, and that was Merrillville. Let me ask you this, Wes. What did playing high school sports, what did that have to do with your success, other than obviously your coaching? But playing high school sports, how does that help you be successful in life?
Well, first off, it helped me to understand that sometimes life's not fair. And no matter how much you want something, sometimes it just doesn't happen. And sports helped me to realize that even though things don't work out my way, and nobody likes to lose, nobody wants to lose that championship game or their career to end at this or that. But sports helps you to understand that you can have those moments in your life where it doesn't work out, but you can pick yourself back up with the good Lord's help, and you can pick yourself up and knock the dust off, and you can go continue to be a successful person. You don't have to sit and dwell on well, doggone, I missed that shot, I lost that game. No, you just pick yourself up and you knock, like I said, knock the dust off, and you keep pushing forward, and good things happen. And it also, I've learned over the years to live in the moments that we have and to cherish those times, whether it's with your teammates, whether it's with your coworkers, whether it's with your family. That no matter what we face in sports, it helps us to face things in life that, it's not always fair. You're right, and I agree, it's not always fair. But you have to keep pushing on, to keep looking for the light at the end of the tunnel, keep looking for the reasons that God's blessed you to have what you have, and continue to strive for whatever He has planned for you going forward. And not to sit and have a pity party and sit in the corner and say, woe is me, but let's go at another thing. And that's, again, sports has led me to continue to strive, and when things don't go my way, I just pick myself up, and we just got to keep going.
And you brought up God in your conversation here a couple of times, Wes, and anyone who knows you knows that your faith is a big part of who you are and what you do. And how has that helped you when you haven't had that success in the previous years, where you didn't get to the state championship when you thought you could? How does your faith help you?
So I'll tell you, and I won't get into the whole story of my life and all the things and all the trials and tribulations along the way, but when I gave my heart and life to Christ and allow Him to lead, all the doors that were open and shut, all the times people told me that, you're not good enough for this job, or we just don't think you could do it, and different things happen in your life, and before I would have gotten a lot of discouragement and got pretty frustrated with things, but as the Holy Spirit leads me in my life, and as I go down this path, and again, you know me well enough, this is not I live this. I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to make this sound like some good story. This is my life. I live it every day, and I drive 50 miles one way every day to work, and then 50 miles back, so 100 miles a day. And I'm not asking for a boohoo thing, but my whole point behind this is I've traveled the same path for 9 years. And for 9 years, up until this point, every time we've come up short, or every time something didn't work out, and a lot of people said, why don't you just quit and give up? I said, because God's got a plan for me here. And it's not just even the basketball. It's to be able to do FCS with these kids. It's being able to witness to my players and be able to talk to people about the Lord. And, when I gave Him my heart and life, and I said, it's yours. Everything I do is for Him. The passion that He gives me to coach, whether it's a passion to be a husband or a father or a teacher or a pastor, or just to share how good He is to us, because I don't think Christ gets enough credit. It's huge in my life. It's the number one thing in my life. If I never won another basketball game, it still wouldn't deter the faith that I have in my Savior. And that's what I also try to get across to these young people, that no matter how hard it gets, I could have quit. I could have went somewhere else. I could have done some other things. But I felt this is where the Lord had put me to do things, and when you stay the test and you do the things and you hold on to Him, good things happen. Getting a chance to play in the state tournament the most important thing to me? It's great, but no, it's not. Watching my athletes give their heart and life to Christ, watching them grow in their relationship with Him, that's the ultimate goal for me. To hear Him say, "Well done," when it's all said and done, to see the joy in their hearts when I get a chance to talk to them about Christ. And I never thought I would be that type of a coach. Never thought I'd be that type of a person even. But He amazes me every day. I'm truly blessed, and when I mean that, I absolutely mean that. Not a millionaire, don't have a whole lot of great things, but what I do have in Him, I give Him all the credit, and He's blessed me so good. And Harold has just been a great walk with Him, and it's continued to bless me each and every day. And that's one thing, and I'm going to hush because I could talk about Him all day, how good He is. And I mean it from the depths of my soul. I love my Savior, and He's my all in all, and And it's just good to know that he's on my side. No matter good times or bad times, ups and downs of life, he's always there. So my faith is very strong, and I'm truly blessed.
And you are blessed to have a member of your family as one of your ball players, too, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Brody, being the baby, she watched her older sisters and, watched what they went through, the success that Brooklyn and Bianca experienced at OD before we transferred over here to Rensselaer. She had a chance. Bring up a familiar name. Jesse Averoni put a picture out that we saw of Brody when she was really young and when we were making that run in 2014, and had a picture of the two of them together. And it's just so surreal to see God's work in things and how now I get the opportunity to coach my daughter in a championship game. And not too many people get that opportunity. I know she's excited. At least I think she is, for me to coach her. But, then I look at my other three daughters, and I'm just so blessed to be able to say that I coached all three of them. All three of them are beautiful young women that are doing fantastic things in their lives, and just so proud of them. And again, the opportunity that he's given me to coach Brody and her to have the games that she's been playing and the things that she's been doing. Heck, there's a few times she even surprised me. I didn't know that she had it in her to do those things. It's just a true blessing to be able to coach your kid. And here's the thing about it. She would tell you, and my other daughters would tell you, they had to earn every step of it. Dad didn't, let anything slide. They had to show up every day at practice. My oldest one would tell you, and they would tell you, I've had to kick them out of practice when they don't do what Dad says. And then the 50-mile ride home could be could be a little tough. But through it all and in it all, I love my daughters. My wife, Angie's been beside us every step of the way, and it's just been a fun time at the house here, watching the excitement, watching her older siblings absolutely love her and excited for her. So it's just been a true blessing.
Wes, thanks so much for taking time and visiting with us on this very busy day for you. And I think I can speak for all of the Knox, that's the Knox in Stark County, fans who are rooting for the old North Judson Blue Jay here today.
And I appreciate it. I've had a lot of people reaching out. Sometimes we forget that, I'm still a Denham boy. Was born and raised on the Denham Blacktop, and my wife is probably rolling her eyes now, but proud of my roots and where I came up and was raised in, and just appreciative of all the support, and hope everybody just, has a good time enjoying watching my girls play. I'm very proud of this program and what these girls have been able to do. And if you would have told me that Rensselaer Central would be down playing the state final, a lot of people think it would just be for football, but I think we're kind of changing things over here a little bit in this area. So hopefully we can continue to do some great things. And I appreciate you, Harold. I appreciate the support from everybody, from all the school systems, and hopefully we can just get it done here.
Our guest on Where Are They Now has been Wes Radtke, a 1995 graduate of North Judson-San Pierre High School. Join us again next week here on the Saturday Sports Line for Where Are They Now?
Where Are They Now? A look back at more than a half century of high school sports coverage on WKVI has been brought to you by Osborne's Mini Mart in Knox.
Join us each Saturday morning on WKVI for the Saturday Sports Line and worldwide on WKVI.com.
Time now for our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week, given in memory of Tyler Roth, a 2001 graduate of Winamac High School who died as a result of an auto accident 1 week after his high school graduation. His legacy of hard work, outstanding citizenship, artistic success, and super athletic performance lives on with this award given every week to outstanding student athletes from the 8 schools in the Kankakee Valley. Today's award is brought to you by Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winamac, and we'll tell you who's earned the Tyler Roth WKVI WKVI Athlete of the Week after this word from Web Printing.
Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack and signs of all kinds in Winamac is where all of your printing needs can be met. Whether it's paper, garments, or signs, Web Printing is your full-service printing solution. So if you're in need of embroidered or screen-printed garments, tickets or programs for your event, or documents for your business, Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack is the place to go. For the quickest service, best prices, and best quality, it's Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winamac.
Our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week for this week is Christian Hughes, a member of the basketball team at West Central High School. Christian had an amazing last several games here. Through the last 3, he averaged over 20 points per game for those 3 games. He really stood out as one of the main leaders on this West Central Trojan team. As he has shown, he will be someone they could count on here in the latter portion of the season. Of course, sectionals starts this coming week. We know the Trojans have a good shot of making it pretty far here in the sectional, and Christian Hughes is leading the charge. We congratulate Christian Hughes of West Central, our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week. Christian will receive a certificate, a history of the award, and a t-shirt commemorating his achievement, and will also be a future guest on the Saturday Sports Line. He will be eligible for our Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Year award later this spring, which carries with it a plaque and a college scholarship, compliments of WKVI and the family of Tyler Roth. The Tyler Roth WKVI Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winamac. I'll make sure to get with Mr. Hughes this week. As that wraps up another Saturday Sports Line down and in the archives. This coming week is boys sectional basketball. We will be covering 6 of our area 8 teams here on WKVI, so strap up. A lot of Indiana high school basketball comes your way. It's sectional time, baby. Until this coming Tuesday, follow us on all of our social media sites, on Instagram at WKVI Sports, on X at KVB Sports, and on Facebook at Sports to the Max for all Kankakee Valley Broadcasting sports content. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm out of here. I'm Mitch Columby. The tradition continues.
From the Pulaski Memorial Hospital studios of Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI, you've been listening to the Saturday Sports Line with Sports Director Mitch Columby and Sports Analyst Chris McGowan.